Today on Dr. G Engaging Minds.
Most of us are dealing with a lot these days. Pandemic stress, election stress, and if you struggle with addiction and sobriety, that stress may seem impossible to deal with.
It's a great time to explore or re-explore your whole situation.
Today we explore with Dr. Eric Roberts how he's used this past year to promote positive changes in his life and connect with his wife, Eliza.
Coaching has become one of the things we love to do.
We'll find out how Eric and Eliza harness their passion for acting to find their personal truth, no matter the circumstances. Hey, this is Dr. G, and I'm here with actor Eric Roberts. He's an Academy Award and Golden Globe nominated actor. Eric, I want to welcome you to Engaging Minds.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. How's your quarantine going?
My quarantine has been actually kind of fascinating to me from a psychological point of view. I feel as though I'm learning so much about myself, and it's forcing me to deal with issues. It's also both scary and overwhelming at times, and also fascinating at times. So I'm having both those experiences.
I'm right with you. I've discovered through this process that I do indeed have a very good marriage. So it's been good for me a lot.
I think I've discovered that too, but I've also come across, I wanted to ask you this question. I've been dealing with a lot of patients. A lot of my work is in drug and alcohol rehab, and I've been noticing there's been an increase in sort of people relapsing out of sobriety because they're experiencing, let's say, a disconnection or an inability to deal with certain feelings. I'm wondering what your thoughts, what advice you can give to people based on maybe some of your own experiences in dealing with sobriety during this challenging time.
Well, it's a great time to explore or re-explore your whole situation. And just be honest with yourself. Like, sit at your desk, write down your fears, write down your wants, write down your hopes, write down your failures, write down your triumphs, write stuff down like a child, and then just look at it in front of you. Now, I do this kind of thing when I build new characters. But you can also do that when you're just working on yourself, and it's easy, it's simplistic, and it's kind. You're not driving yourself. You're simply talking to yourself, understanding yourself, having a little clarity. And
I think a lot of it is also, I agree with you 100% that one of the things I've said to patients is, what about if we change the words around isolation instead of I'm going through a meditative period in my life that is asking me to slow down, examine myself, check my feelings out, and really see this as a turning point of how I can better myself, how I could change. It puts that positive spin on things. And also what I tell people from a practical point of view, we're so lucky now to have things like Zoom. There's a lot of AA meetings that are present on Zoom. Right. There's a lot of connection. There's some benefit. You can meet people in other cities and countries that you maybe never would have met before. So that sense of community could really expand.
And I don't want to get silly here, but this is silly stuff. You're quarantined with your better other half. Re-explore all that. Like the other night, last night, the night before, I gave my wife a rub down. I explored her I haven't looked at my wife's back in probably 6 months. I looked at every centimeter of her back. I know my wife's back. And just small stuff like that, it makes life a pleasure. And remember, the easy stuff like that, it's also free. And it isn't even electrified. You don't have to turn on the TV. It's free. You just explore your wife's back. And she has a beautiful back.
And exactly what you said, it also gives you the time. There isn't this time pressure that we're always feeling. Like, I actually can take the freedom now to explore my wife's back, just like it's a great metaphor, just like I'm exploring myself in this great way during this period. A final question. We had talked quickly about, everyone's talking about how, this is going to change things forever, that we'll never go, there's going to be a new normal. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts around psychology, spirituality, whatever it is, a combination of both. How do you think this can create a new normal for us on that level?
Well, that's a big question, Doc.
I know, and we'll have 30 seconds before we get you back on.
That's a big question. What it's going to do, what it has no choice but to do, is to make, the world an honest village, because we all realize we all have an effect on each other. So we make it a village, and that we can all communicate this way. And we all have an effect on each other if we get out in the world and we touch each other. But this way we can help each other. That way we can hurt each other. So we're going to have to make the adjustment, and we're going to have to be kind to each other. And I feel bad for the kids, for the 2-year-olds, the 5-year-olds. That's hard, dude.
Yeah, because they just don't get it. It's
why should they get it? That's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for my dog when I walk my dog, because I see her wanting to go up to other dogs and not being able to connect. And I don't know how to reach out and explain to her right now that we can't do it. But on the other side, she's definitely getting a lot more walks than she ever has gotten.
When I go for my walks in the neighborhood, we all have on our masks. I see my neighbors. The animals have never been happier. Everybody's
Exactly.
The animals are also happy. Yeah.
And I love what you're saying. The message I feel like you're giving everyone is, keep it simple, keep it positive. Look at this as a positive time to self-reflect and make some real changes in your life.
Still ahead on Dr. G Engaging Minds, an acting lesson with Eric and Eliza Roberts.
We're in a pandemic. There are no jobs.
There are no jobs. Not my problem.
Eric happens to be doing a film,
Okay.
the content of which is about the effect on a family of addiction.
Oh, fantastic. Great.
Yeah, about excuses, denials. So what we want to do, Eric's a big rehearser. He loves to rehearse.
I love
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he's from theater. So what we're going to do
Oh, great.
is bring you through the scene, you playing his son, and just kind of demonstrate, because coaching has become one of the things we love to do, right next to acting.
Okay.
And directing. It's something we really love. Do you love it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. This is your interview. So we are going to rehearse this scene as if both of you guys are playing these roles.
Okay.
And give you some of our techniques, because coaching for acting always crosses over into life coaching and even therapy.
Yeah.
You'll find that a couple of acting techniques work so great about your life, it'll blow your mind, like repetition.
By the way, I use a lot of acting. I've used acting techniques with patients and addicts all the time.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. You know the Sandy Meisner technique of
I've heard of it. I'm
Okay.
not sure what it is.
It demonstrates the fact that acting is listening.
Let's show them what repetition is. I'll be you, you be Kate.
Okay, so for a second, I'll just take your role and you'll see. Okay.
Okay, you can demonstrate. Okay.
You're desperate? I told you the last time. It was the last time.
Last time, what am I supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? Get cleaned up.
Cleaned up. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, and then what? Huh? Who's going to hire me? No one's hiring me. We're in a pandemic. There are no jobs.
There are no jobs. Not my problem.
Okay, so now we've done it with
And I would say, like, not my problem. I'm your son.
right.
Because what it does is when you repeat it in your head, it makes the response completely
Natural.
honest. And it works every time for anybody. It's like magic. And it works every time. So let's try it.
Sure, I'll do my best. Okay.
Okay. All right. Ready? And with repetitions, action.
Son, you need help.
I need help. I'm fine, Dad. I just need some money and a job. I need money and a job, money and a job. Can you help me, please? Please? Please?
Please? I can't. I won't.
So you won't. I'm desperate, Dad.
You're desperate? I told you the last time. It was the last time.
It was the last time, so what am I supposed to do?
Okay. How did that?
Nice.
Yeah. How did that feel to you?
It felt good.
Yeah.
It's almost
It frees you up.
It's almost like a lifeline to truth, the repetition, and I don't know why. I can't explain why. I just know it does work.
Okay.
Can you explain why it works?
Well, first, let me ask you, why do you think it works?
I think what it did for me is it takes me out of thinking, it gets me out of my head, and it gets me into my gut. And I know I have to respond right away. So instead of thinking about what I'm going to say, I'm listening more to Eric in the moment and trying to hear what he has to say. And then I think what happened to me is when I repeat it, I sort of validate Eric's thought. Like I almost have to regurgitate it in my head, and then I go to my response.
Right. That's exactly.
Does that make sense? Yeah, it's interesting because after you repeat it, you almost forget what you were supposed to say.
Yes,
Like,
that's right.
I saw myself going back to the script, going, what? I got so into the moment
Yes.
because I don't know the line. Like I had
Then
to,
it's working. Then it's working.
That means it's working. Yeah. That's really good.
you know, I just want to, you know, I think that technique is so great too, because especially for addicts, a lot of times, like today I had a patient and I can't get him to talk. So I told him to just keep, he was so depressed, just keep talking. Like I literally said, I want you to talk for 3 minutes straight. I don't care what you say.
Wow.
And it was just a way of to try to get past his resistance into something that was going on inside.
How to go with him after that?
It went much better because even though, you know, he kept wanting to stop, I think it was his way of not wanting to deal with the reality of his addiction.
Words are what we often use
Yeah.
to hide behind, not to express, but to hide what we are trying desperately not to express.
And, you know, especially for addicts, it's so difficult because you're trying to get past their defense mechanisms and they're so rigid. And a lot of times, I almost want to use the word, they're so dead to what's going on.
Their private, intimate relationships are with the drug. They aren't with anything else. I mean, they've cut everything else off.
Yeah, I know, I agree completely. And it's that attachment. And that's what's great is that this allows someone to attach to something other than their drug.
You know, you're at a really great place right now. Let's read this piece again. Let's read this piece again.
You want? Sure.
Me as you and you as Casey.
The same Meisner technique thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Son, you need help.
I need help. I'm fine, Dad. I just need some money and a job. Money and a job. Money and a job. Can you help me, please? Please?
Please.
Please.
I can't and I won't.
You won't? I'm desperate, Dad.
You're desperate. I told you last time that it was the last time.
It was the last time. What am I supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? Get cleaned up.
Get cleaned up? I don't know what you're talking about. And then what, huh? Who's going to hire me? No one is hiring. We're in a pandemic. There are no jobs.
There are no jobs? That's not my problem.
Not your problem. I'm your son.
You're my son? No, you're not. You are an embarrassment.
I'm an embarrassment. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're an embarrassment. And I have to get back to work. Please get help.
Get help. Whatever. You're just a gardener.
I'm just a gardener. It's honest work at honest pay.
At honest pay? Keep telling yourself that. At least I tried to do something with my life, like go to college, but then I had to take care of Mama because you weren't anywhere to be seen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, will you please forgive me?
Yeah. Great.
You were so relaxed then, and there was some kind of confidence that I didn't see in the first run through. You were confident about what you were doing, and it was very relaxed, and it was very unreading. It was good, dude. I just want to point that out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think you hit something.
Do I get the part? Hey, this is Dr. G, and I'm with Engaging Minds. My guests are Eric Roberts and his wonderful wife, Eliza. How are you guys doing in quarantine?
Could not be better, but it is quarantine. It's a serious thing.
It's a very serious thing. One of the things I wanted to talk about was intimacy. A lot of couples are together now. They're spending maybe more time than they expected, and sometimes issues may come up. I've heard a lot of couples talk about issues like ED, and the guy may be faced with a lot of shame or anxiety around it. I was wondering what your thoughts were around that.
Well, what I'd like to talk about is a product, a device called the Phoenix. It was invented by a friend of mine. So my friend told me, well, Eric, here's what you don't know about erectile dysfunction. I said, what is that? It's caused by plaque, the same stuff that clogs up the heart, clogs up the appendage. It's the same stuff. It's all about blood flow. So he gave me this device. I started using it, and I use it for 15, 20 minutes every 3 or 4 days, and I have no issues anymore with not a complete erectile situation. It's complete. It's done. Ask her.
And I love the way you talk about it, Eric, because you put it in scientific terms, which gets rid of a lot of the anxiety or shame people may have associated with it. I was wondering, Eliza, what are your feelings around it?
This is not a drug, so we're not talking about side effects or anything like that or ingesting anything. It uses sound waves. It's really harmless.
If people wanted to find out how to get it or more information about the Phoenix, how could they do so?
It's Scorched Bird. Scorched Bird is the name of the website.
You can just spell that for us.
Scorched, SCO.
Like scorchedbird.com. So I wanted to thank you both for coming on the show. And I agree with you, Eliza, and Eric, what makes it so appealing is nice to hear that there's a device that can simplify things and make it fun. I want to thank everyone for joining us today with Eric and Eliza Roberts. I hope what we discovered offers you and your family hope, insight, and courage. And with that, you could become a hero in sobriety. Share your story. You can make a difference for someone who is struggling with addiction. Find out how you could become a hero in sobriety by visiting our website and social media.